GHS side, let's talk a little bit more about it as we jump into game. The Tigers versus GHS, our last game of the night, ladies and gentlemen. But our community cast will still have another game going on. There's going to be TNC and MME after that, so if you guys want to go check out that game, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I believe our community casters, we have Gio Dunke and Zorion on Twitter. You guys are going to be casting out our matches. Of course, that is Liab and Rual. Then they'll be also casting a very important match, actually. They're going to have another, they're going to have the other TNC game, which is going to be TNC versus MME. And MME, maybe they can actually close out a game while they have themselves the lead and can take a victory here.
Won the game earlier today.
Again, win with an asterisk. It was a little back and forth.
All right. If we're going by that, a lot
of games have been win with an asterisk, right? They're a little condition that they won. It wasn't pretty, but they did get the Nexus in the end, and that's what matters.
So by definition, they won, but but by a lot of other aspects, debatable, right?
Yeah, we'll have to see here. Yeah, either way, a little bit of poke coming out there.
Okay.
It's a Comet.
So this is it. This is AP Malphite.
Oh yeah.
And literal death to Akali, Zoe, Vayne, right?
I'm ready.
Yeah, my body is ready.
My body's ready for
last
that
game of the night.
instant.
Tell Tigers, give me a just give me a banger game. Give me a game where they go in and press R, win the game.
See here. No invades coming out. Len spotted out there on top of Ward as Kyle and them push themselves into lane. I want to keep track also of this bot lane. It is the Gragas versus Galio matchup this time around. And also this mid lane here. Using that Knight Infiltrator. Irelia.
Jumping on. Dishing a little bit of damage onto Zoe. Back and forth trades.
That attack range on the Irelia is often underestimated often. Arn wasn't even able to trade back with a Pal Star there.
Dodges away from a bunch of the spells. Very dodges away from the Pal Star. Very good. And on the bot lane, things looking pretty steady. A little bit of action as the Sejuani tries to pick up this Scuttlecraft. The Nocturne might see a little bit of fight here.
Level 2 was there for draw, but was not able to connect. Meanwhile, in the jungle, in the river here, yep, that is that level 2 1v1. Scuttle goes on over to the Nocturne. Luckily, though, for Hill, had the Akali pushing on in, had priority, so could come down and support him after pushing in the wave.
Yeah, no smite coming out from the Sejuani. Pick that up. Not much priority up in the top side, as you mentioned. The Malphite is having a pretty tough time against Akali. It's quite difficult to make calls for some of these matchups when they honestly have such low play rate that they don't get to see much gameplay at all.
All right, so I'm looking here. We've got some results. So TNC actually took home the victory in both games.
Oh boy.
So I think they have the tiebreak over Law. Would have to double check there. That or they're tied. So there's a possibility.
So TNC took the game over Law in earlier today, right?
Yes, and apparently they have also taken home the victory against MME up in top lane. 2v1. We've seen this before. Just going to go dive underneath the tower. Oh, no, not close enough. First blood goes on to the Nocturne. Oh, trying to get a little too crazy. Hey, double knock-up, though, off the body slam. Oh, my goodness. Kyle picking up the kill with one of the longest auto attacks I've ever seen. And Draw starting things off in bot lane on the Gragas. Both teams pick up a kill across the map.
Soul kills down the bot lane, flash body slam, and that's how you play support Gragas, my friends. Not exactly a big fan of Winds of War start for Galio. I don't think that's where Galio's power is. If you want to play Galio support, you have to understand that the reason why Galio support is so strong is because it has such high base damages on the charge. And then when you have that stun coming in at level 2, that's where your power comes in.
Well, I think that was the big one for Draw. He saw that the Winds of War were actually used in lane.
Yeah.
So that means he only has one form of CC at level 2. He either has the taunt or the knockup.
Exactly.
So you might as well go in, get that Ignite flash down. And they got themselves the kill onto the Vayne. A nice stun going to land here from Pao onto R. And oh, man, the shred is nasty from Pao.
Yeah, very good damage there. Find quite a bit of chunk under Zoe and allows sustain on her part as well. A little bit of a difference is that the Zoe is able to go for this double dog start, and that provides a lot of value to the Zoe, whereas Irelia doesn't really have that kind of option. So currently, Irelia is going to have to look for the next next recall and come back into the lane, just try to match up as well as possible. But the Doran's Blade coming out here stalls for a little bit of time.
We'll see here. We also got a Dragon now on the map. It's going to be a Cloud Drake to start things off. Lands a Shuriken. Don't think going to do the same mistake we saw last time, though. As Mike's going to clear out his jungle as well. Try to get some early aggression off onto that Sejuani, and that's the one thing that Sejuani is going to have to worry about because it's a lethal tempo Nocturne, so if he's able to get on top of you, going to have some trouble. Some pings coming out here. Just going to get some vision down, though. As Mike gets on over to safety.
This is a 20 CS gap up at the top side already.
Not seen here. Going to try and make a play. Kali, though, is going to spot that out on a ward. Mike realizing that it's warded up is going to have to back off. Pillow was also nearby. So again, just going to use that bloom. Try and clear out the jungle. Go ahead, get the Grom.
Level 5 on the Nocturne. We're about to hit this level 6 mark where the teams are going to be able to start jumping in and providing this layer of damage, a layer of CC as they start having these massive ultimates.
Oh, Bubble's going to connect there. Going to try and use a Defiant Dance. Get some damage. Vanguard's Edge, though, is going to connect. Goes on forward. Gets the stun over the wall. And shreds apart the Zoe. Beautifully done.
Pow! Big plays coming out.
Oh, man. Mike's been stealing away the Scuttle like twice now. Yeah. Pilyo has had a really rough time trying to get a Scuttle Crab.
So Opal, remember at the start when we talked about how Irelia was a make-it champ? There's no break-it. Look at that. Look at the plays. The Vanguard's Edge into the stun. With every blaze surge, just beautiful game.
Flawless execution. Oh, he gets the knockup. Homie, no. Oh, Alita.
Oh, the unstoppable force.
That
twice. 2 times now.
Okay, well, at least one was down to the tower. The other one was flashed on here into the Paranoia, and they're just going to go ahead and just take down draw. Len gets the kill. All right, Telly Tigers. I'm game. I see this. I see you. I respect that. Lita. Oh, my God. That hurt. That hurt in top lane.
Solid play. I mean, okay, the first time around, the Akali died to turret, yes?
Yeah.
The second time around, still turret.
No. This is the issue. Arn has practically nothing they can do at this point. Blade Surge gets them a little closer. Defiant Dance just going to finish her off. Arn, who's having a rough line now.
This was a self-counter pick for the Zoe, yes?
Yeah, Irelia was first picked.
Yes, Irelia was first picked. So the Zoe was brought into this matchup. Theoretically, I think it is feasible. I think Zoe has enough power to sustain against Irelia and survive. But I think that's really to its fullest extent. And then we touched upon what happens if the Irelia jumps onto the Zoe, then the Zoe dies because Zoe doesn't have any way to disengage from the stacks of stuns and the kind of mobility that is provided. Mercred's gonna be the first buy from the Irelia. Wow. Look at that base damage.
Looking at base damage, hasn't backed yet after that kill, though. So is likely going to also maybe pick up a Sheen or something along those lines.
Yeah, finally get a damage item.
But having the Merc Treads, too, especially against the bubble, even if the Zoe lands it on you, she has to respect you. Down in bot lane, though. Oh, they're able to find this Galio and get him stunned up against the wall. Finish him off there with the ultimate. Neal mid lane, though. I've seen this one before in our bottom left. The Irelia is currently getting close to unstoppable.
Okay.
The third kill.
Zoe needs to stop?
Zoe can't go to lane.
Yeah, Zoe actually can't go to lane, but that's fine because just lane swap. Just lane swap.
You know, it's also the Malphite got a kill and assist already.
Yeah, I mean
and he's looking for more. Gotta come on over. Actually flashes away. Oh, for flawless execution though. Coming on over. Oh, for the Paranoia. He's like, I'm going underneath this tower. I'm taking this kill. Oh, a little close.
40 health there.
Just down to 40 health, but survives. So nicely done.
The Akali is not far behind. Sure, she's down a couple of kills, a couple of assists at this point, but she has great CS.
Great CS.
Great CS, you know. And going into this matchup, Zoe really just wants to be able to survive and farm against the Malphite. That's doable. She can survive and farm. Whereas in the mid
I'm more
lane,
worried about the Nocturne going to become a top lane with Paranoia every time it's available. Because it's a long lane for Zoe.
That's true. That's true. But then again, what stops her from doing that in the mid lane too? I mean, it's not as
I
long of a lane.
Okay, so we've seen now the Aurelia doesn't need any help.
Yeah,
that's the big
need
one.
any help, right? So no, wow, Opal, you just kind of sit basically TLDR. This Zoe's done.
Pretty much.
We did all the discussion to come to the conclusion that
we're getting to the conclusion that Mike is. This is what I like to see from Nocturnes too. Right when level 6 is hit, going for kills.
Yes.
Again, using that ultimate immediately.
Yes.
Are you sure about that, Arn? Are you sure about that? Oh, if that stun lands.
That stun landed. Hey, if anything lands at this point.
Arn, you're sticking your tongue out there. I don't think you want to be sticking your tongue out. That Paranoia is always ready.
That's true. Good amount of CDR coming in with the Warrior enchantment coming out early. Building towards more cooldown reduction as a component for the lethality items.
Yeah.
Means that Paranoia is going to be up pretty soon and pretty often.
Yeah. Artie is there. Seeker gonna tag draw.
Is this it? Is this the Wombo? This is the Wombo.
Oh, they're setting it up.
I see the pinks. They're
thinking about it.
They want this. Why did they not go for it? Why didn't they go for it?
We're gonna see here. They just want to keep some vision. Back up toward top lane.
It might be because they don't know where the rest of them are. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, you know Alita has ult. He's thinking about it. Meanwhile, back in mid, Aaron not able to land the bubble.
Opting for the dragon instead. Tell Tigers take the safer play, the smarter play, going for these neutral objectives.
I think this is a major issue for GHS because Paranoia's coming on in. There's the Galio ultimate. Forces the flash away. Barrel's going to be there, but it don't matter because, again, that's Cleanse is used. Sejuani going to join in on the fight. Pao has come down from the mid lane. Zoe's still a little bit far out by the blast cone and waiting. Vanguard's Edge is still available for Piao. Instead, going to opt to clear out the control ward and head on back to lane.
Could look for the fight with Irelia being the main focus of damage, but I think it's a little bit more prudent to try and save your resources right now. Continue to press your advantage by putting the opponents behind. Right now, it is a 3-man bot lane on this side of GHS, trying to establish some control now.
Aaron able to dodge away from that stun, and again, very nicely done. Starting to learn here.
Oof, sitting on top of that ward.
Yeah.
Can they bait him out?
I don't think they are making pings here. I think they're going to wait for the back. Maybe try and see if something can happen here. Meanwhile, back up toward the top side of the map. Rift Herald being contested over as Mike's already actually started this up. Irelia is going to make her way on over as well. Homie has to go back. Does not have teleport available.
Good call.
So
coming in to pick up this Rift Herald while they spotted out the Sejuani bot side. Now they should be able to pick this up pretty soon, as long as the Sejuani doesn't even try for this point. Just going to go for the rip up, it looks like.
So nicely done here by Telly Tigers. They still only are ahead by about 900 gold. So a lot of that CS being held onto by this Akali. Gonna have turret plating falling very shortly. Oh, Pillow's coming on over, gets the knock up, gonna have the ultimate available, ends up getting the unstoppable force out from Alita. Fortunately, I don't think Homie can get there in time, uses the flawless execution. That's 2 ultimates for 1.
I like that. Very decisive use of the unstoppable force gets the Malphite out. Alita manages to stay alive. Despite the fact that the amount of resources they committed to try and get him were quite high as well. 2 quite large ultimates were expended to get the Malphite, so it's a decent trade overall. I like that.
Back toward the mid lane still. Aaron not falling down this time around to find Dance. Going to try and soak up some damage. Not even actually going to use. Oh, close on that stun.
Oof.
Was hoping that Aaron was just going to stay. Instead, going to back off here. Should have enough for likely a finished Tiamat item, or decide to start building onto that phage. Game's kind of slowed down a little, Grandin.
Yeah, after the first couple of kills, it was a little bit more difficult for them to find much more. It's difficult to get that setup. Which is quite interesting, because TGR can go for more if they want to, but they opted to try and play things slowly instead, which is respectable. You know, we've been seeing quite the bloodbath in a lot of other games. So the fact that they can temper down and be like, all right, you know what?
We don't need to do this.
We don't need to.
Take it. We can relax.
When they go for these big objectives, they go for the Baron, they go for the Dragon. GHS have nowhere to contest because it's very easy for TGR or Teletigers to just jump in and kill them all. So once laning phase is over, it actually extends wildly into TGR's benefit. So it's within GHS's plan to try and extend laning phase for as long as possible.
Edge gets on top of it, and they're just going to chase her over the wall. They don't even care if Sejuani's nearby. Coming on over Alita. Maybe looking for this shot here. Has the ultimate available. Down in bot lane, though. It's a double flash taunt coming out from the Galio. Draw, though, able to separate the fight. Here comes the Nocturne. Killer Instinct going to bring back Lista back to the fight. It's a 1-for-1 in the end as they're able to take down the Galio in return. So that's going to be the Rift Herald popped here, and TGR are looking for the first turret of the game.
Should be able to find this as well. Vayne opts to back off entirely, making the prudent decision here. Up in the top side, Malphite has rotated back up and is able to protect his own turret. Mid lane likely to get picked up as well as Irelia continues to find damage onto it. What a set of unfortunate circumstance for Zoe right now.
It's a little unfortunate.
A little bit unfortunate.
It's, it happens. A whole lot you can do.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I can't really say very much because after... So the first kill, sure, you can be like, the first and second kill, sure, that's kind of his fault. But once you get to the third and fourth kills, there's really nothing that Zoe can do anymore. It's either... literally, Zoe would not die if she just AFKs, but you can't do that, right?
No, you need to farm, you need to still scale, and she does have a role when it comes to the later part of the game.
So I'm actually quite impressed by how well she's farming, despite the fact that she's had a rough early game. So giving credit to her, she's actually doing pretty decently in that aspect. It just has to be, you know, watching out for some of those solo kills in the early game, but that's a little bit late to look back at.
So this is a little concerning now for GHS. You give over a Mountain Drake, it makes up for the fact that they only have an Irelia and a Kaisa for damage when it comes to the Baron. And they're just going to go ahead and... Oh my god! You can't do that on YouTube! That's just not safe, Mike! That damage that came out! Aaron!
0-5, by the way.
Yeah. But still, that
Jumps in.
Oh, that was because he's got the Dust Blade completed.
Jumps in. It has the stopwatch too. So just goes in and he can go into stasis. Big collapse coming from a bunch of their teammates, and they get another free kill. What even is this anymore?
Nicely done overall, so they find themselves another pick onto the Zoe. Now set 3,000 gold ahead after getting themselves a bit of a gold lead off that first brick gold. They also could go for mid lane again once more, and Mike is on the hunt looking for this Sejuani, the lethal tempo. They just rip apart the boar. Here comes the Vayne over toward the side, though. They're able to keep that alive. Len is still nearby. Needs to get in range. Going to go all in. Here comes the knock up. They get the Vayne, and that's the main target. Getting taken down here. Pau wants to join in as well. Unfortunately, Homie gets triggered by the Vanguard's edge, and they're just looking to jump in. And unfortunately, Aaron's got nowhere to run. The Nightmares on top of him, and that's just going to be the ace coming out for Teletigers with no one falling.
So remember when I said that the Unstoppable Force is just going to kill Vayne just like...
Yep.
That fight didn't even have... I'm not even sure what hit the Vayne at that point. You know, the Unstoppable Force came in. Boom, Vayne died. We're at the point where the Zoe is literally unable to do anything. The Nocturne ult, Paranoia came back up the time that Zoe came back up. So as Zoe walked back into the team fight, she died right away. Here we have a good look at what happened again. Right, so his fight starts off, it looks pretty okay. It looks like a secure kill to Sejuani. She goes to the stopwatch. This ultimate from the Kaisa is a little bit suspect, but sure, I'll give it a free pass for now. Kyle here takes the knockout. All right, that's fine. Boom, gets hit by the Comet, by the Unstoppable Force, and that kills her. The combo from Malphite alone kills her. All right, they try and keep things alive. Yeah, that Paranoia goes that way. She tries to chase after. The Kaisa here with the Comet chases after with the last seismic shard. I mean, oh my goodness, what even is this? They built the composition right.
This was huge for GHS. They really needed this win, and it makes it really difficult for them now to actually catch up with Liab. I actually don't think they can, because Liab have actually played their 2 other games and have won both of them. So the worst they can finish is 5-1. So GHS needs to find a way back into this game. There you go. That's the damage you're looking for. Just a little too far away.
They didn't have enough information on that. If they knew that the Kai'Sa was hit there definitely would have been a lot more effort placed and a lot more priority placed to try and get that kill. Thankfully, Kai'Sa will live to see another day. Right now, Baron is a large objective they could contest for. 5 ultimates on the side of TGR are back up.
Top that too, you also have a Rage Blade completed now for the Kai'Sa.
Oh yeah?
So that's going to help rip apart those neutral objectives. We have another dragon spawning in 90 seconds.
And I think at level 11, that should be the upgrade for the Cathian Rain with the adaptive damage.
Yep, should have enough.
Yep, should have enough at that point. So we are right on cue. This is the absolute power spike coming from TGR. A little bit of a greedy build coming in from the Vayne right now, opting for that Rage Blade. I'm not sure how I feel about this, considering she is getting bursted down. I think the Phantom Dancer was a lot more important. Yeah, you could argue that, hey, I mean, Rage Blade does more damage, but you can't do damage if you're dead, right?
Honestly, though, she gets hit by any form of CC, she's dead.
That's true.
Simple as enough.
So you don't go Berserker Beast, you go Merc Shreds, because that's honestly the only thing that
Get some tenacity in there.
Get some tenacity in there. Then you go get your Phantom Dancer, and that's the only thing that's going to keep you alive. Because Rage Blade is not going to keep you alive. Rage Blade is going to make sure that you die. Baron is an objective if they want to go for that.
Is an objective.
It's an objective. They should get this top lane turret first.
No,
shot the wave.
I've seen this before. I've seen this before often. Alita not going to pull the trigger on the ultimate. Instead, they turn back toward the tower. They don't make a greedy play.
Exactly. This is the correct play. You get the top lane turret.
That was a flawless execution used by Homie. That's not going to be.
Really? Oh, it was. Oh.
I don't know if they ended up trying to use that earlier to try and escape. Had to use the second proc, but that's not going to be available here.
Yeah, that's going to be having that taken out. There's that ward in the back of the Baron pit. I don't think they spotted that out. It's a little bit awkward. Now GHS still has vision of Baron. Over the mid lane, they're looking for this fight.
Oh, that was a bit aggressive there. Coming out from Fiawe. Here comes the Nocturne joining in. Unfortunately, has no backup, it would seem.
Where's the Why didn't the Galio?
Galio there finally is going to come on in. But it's a little way too late at this point. GHS, they find themselves an opportunity and take down the mid lane tower. I don't get the idea there from Tilly Tigers.
Huh? What went wrong there? It looked like the Galio was in range, but maybe he wasn't. I'm not exactly sure what happened that allowed that fight to transpire the way it did. If I were GHS right now, I would just go for the Baron.
Still a little concerned though. We'll see here. Ping's coming out. Even Tilly Tigers are a little concerned. Feel like they should have to be checking out this Baron.
Yeah, this Baron should have been the natural objective at that point, I think. We already saw the very large ultimate being used from the Galio. Malphite still has the unstoppable force, but you already saw the Irelia Nocturne did. The fact that you have a Rage Blade below the Rune King Vayne and you didn't opt for the Baron when you had 2 of the enemies you did, that's a little bit problematic.
Kyle just gonna soak up the minion waves in mid. Make their way on over. GA is not going to be available for Mike. Still about halfway through its cooldown before that'll be back up. So GHS are able to find a bit of a stall here in the pacing of the game. Tilly Tigers with that lead, they're starting to show a little bit of weakness when it comes to actually exerting more force onto the map. Chaotic pings coming out.
Well, I just kind of want to go for this. It's interesting that the Malphite is pushing down the bot lane by himself and able to find so much success. But even with him missing, a lot of the power coming in from TGR still exists. So it's not exactly reasonable to say that GHS have a form of entry while the Malphite is gone, because they still have a lot of power in the Nocturne, in the Kai'Sa, in the Irelia here.
Seeker coming out there from Len. Meanwhile, bot lane being pushed in by Alita.
Honestly, Malphite just teleport for the flank right now. You have that wave up top side. Just get a ward, get something, teleport in, find the fight, starting it off for everybody else.
Instead, it's just going to turn into a clear game here. And I think GHS are happy playing this one out. It gives them more time for Kyle to scale back up. The Zoe can get an item or two more.
Zoe's farming incredibly well for her current circumstance.
Trying to get back to par there with Piao.
Vayne as well. Kyle is also in a very good position. 4-1 with 219 CS at 24.5 minutes.
Let's see here. Kyle's thinking about this. Oh! Goes into the stun, but avoids the Vanguard's edge. And here comes the rest of the team piling on in. But now the Paranoia into the taunt. Nowhere to run. Kyle gets taken down. Killer Instinct going to bring it back into the fight. And sure, you get the Irelia. But is it really worth at this point? Finally, Telly Tigers are finally able to find themselves exactly what they need.
And it's on to the Baron with Telly Tigers as they manage to get 3 massive kills there. The main source of damage, the Vayne, has been taken out. Great teleport flank coming in for the Malphite. They're going to set up the rest of the fight there. Going to try to pick this up. No smite available on GHS side, so you should be able to pick this up pretty easily.
Hey, homie. Woo! Takes down the Nocturne before going down themselves. So that's going to be only 3 Baron buffs available here for Tilly Tiger.
All right, calm down. This is always 0 and 6. You don't need this kill. Pretty sure.
Gally going to head on back to base.
Just recall. This is the wrong play. No, just recall. Just recall. Yeah. There we go. There we go, buddy. Good job.
Crandon has spoken. Recall. Get back to safety.
Reset the right time, because right now the Kai'Sa is the only player on the team that hasn't reset. So everybody else is going to be in position. I really will have the wave pushed up top. The Galio, the Malphite will have the wave pushed out mid. She's gonna go back, and she's gonna have to. They're gonna have to wait for the Kai'Sa to be in a position.
Static Shiv. Not often for the Runans. It's a bit of a different one.
Might make sense for a little bit of wave clear. Not exactly 100% sure about this itemization choice.
Usually, you like to have that Runan so you can apply your plasma to everything during the fight. So, I'll have to see here though. So the Tigers, they got this Baron buff for the next 2 minutes, so they look to push.
It's about third done at this point, so yeah, just about 2 minutes, I think. They didn't exactly push out the top wave enough, though. It's not the best setup coming in.
Look at this, though. This is their play. Because for a lot of teams, it's hard to break open this choke point. But honestly, you have a Malphite. You're happy playing into a choke point.
That's true. You look for an engage, find a target that you can jump on.
Nice stun coming out there.
There we go. That's the Vayne. Right, so now that they have a clear visual on where Vayne is, it's over. Because now the ultimates are all going to jump onto the Vayne. Here we have it. It's gonna happen. Malphite should be one to start things off. That's usually how these kind of compositions go. Now they're going to go bot lane. Malphite's going to go top.
You'd like to see him go for it because the cleanse isn't available for Kyle.
Wait, is this a little bit suspect? Not sure what they are trying to aim for picking up this dragon while they have a massive advantage with Baron buff.
Often in for the second Cloud Drake. Also have another Mountain Drake joining in shortly.
Not sure if that was necessary at all.
Also have GA back up for the Nocturne.
Yeah. That's quite massive, and Malphite now pushes out that top wave, looking to try and set up a siege on that top side as well. Not all that much wave gear coming in from TGR.
He went back into it. He's going to get drowsy. He gets back to safety. Meanwhile, though, the top lane turret does fall, and now minions starting to strike in toward the inhibitor. It's extremely risky for both of these carries to be up here. Alita can just freely hit the tower.
There we go. They pick it up.
All right, Paranoia is being used. They're going to go ahead, jump right on in, get toward their Alita, though not able to find the knock-up, and Kyle's able to kite back. Going to get taunted. There's the Kai'Sa now jumping on in. They need to get themselves on top of this Vayne, though, and right now Kyle can keep this fight alive. Unfortunately, the Nocturne going to be forced to go back into GA, but GHS are able to hold. Meanwhile, bot lane, they take down the Irelia, and they don't lose the inhibitor. You look upset, Grandin.
I am upset. They pick. The composition is straightforward. Press R, you hit the targets, you kill them all. So what happened there? Malphite missed R.
They all didn't hit R at the same time.
Exactly. They did hit R at the same time. You're supposed to hit R, you're supposed to hit things with your R. That's the thing. So Galio at that point went for the Vayne. Right? The decision was go for Vayne, go for Vayne, go for Vayne. They jump onto Vayne. Kai'Sa opts for the nearest target because that is the nearest threat to Kai'Sa right now. However, the issue is it doesn't matter that the nearest threat can kill Kai'Sa because as long as Kai'Sa is able to trade evenly with the Vayne, the rest of them have enough damage. Nocturne has enough damage. Gallo has enough damage that they're able to clean up that fight anyway. So what they needed to do then was kill the Vayne as the priority. But it was a split decision. There were people going for the Vayne. There were people going, I believe that was the Gragas. And it cost them that.
I'm very hesitant on this static shiv. I feel like you have a Runans during that fight, it might be a bit different. Because Len's primary target wasn't actually the Vayne. They were auto-attacking members beside him.
Exactly. It wasn't the Vayne, which was a problem, right?
Yeah.
If she had the Runans, that residual damage could have actually been sufficient to build up into the damage for the kill.
On top of this too, Kyle's now got a stopwatch. So even though they jump on top of this Vayne, even with Cleanse down, they have another safety net. The window of opportunity to take Kyle down was back when Cleanse was on cooldown.
Right.
And when they didn't have a stopwatch.
But the Vayne pick is working out for GHS. So, I mean, I'm talking a lot about TGR and some of the things that happen in their engage. But the pick is working out very well for GHS. So you bring in the Vayne against the Kai'Sa, and you get this huge amount of dueling potential. You have a level of resistance, a little bit of mobility, and safety with your tumble with the stealth, and that's part of the reason why Vayne is now viable in the current meta again. The fact that she's 8-2 in a game where her mid laner had lost most of the pressure that she lost most pressure.
Couldn't even go into lane.
Yeah.
Nicely done. 21-13, 31.5 minutes. We got Baron coming up in 10 seconds. We're also going to have ourselves another Elemental Drake joining shortly. Alita's down to that bot lane. Going to try and clear out here. Nice look at this teleport. Are they actually going to be able to pull this off is the question. Alita uses it. Not able to get home to safety, but here we go. They're going to try and just jump right on top of Kyle. That forces out the ultimate final hour. They get on top of her. There it is, Vanguard's Edge. They just pile in. Alita, though, the ultimate ends up missing. Sure, they get the Vayne, but the rest of the team is still alive. They put everything on the table to try and get him. Get the stun there. They're trying to. Pau gets back all the health with the Blade Surge. Able to get back into safety. They take him on down, and this Irelia, Alita, with a triple kill. It goes one way, it goes the other, Grandin. In the end, TGR are able to find the advantage and finally take down the inhibitor.
An absolute clutch moment for TGR. They barely managed to come up ahead in that fight.
Barely.
The fact that Pal survived with that slither of health at the very end there, didn't get dropped down to his Guardian's Angel. Oh my goodness.
Oh, stun lands. They decide not to go in, though. Still very afraid. I think now we're starting to see the issue with TGR. They put everything onto the Vayne. Sure, you kill the Vayne, but now, homie, on this Akali can do work. The Zoe's been able to farm back a little more, and it's just not going their way.
Alright, so let's take a look at this fight again. Starts off with the Malphite teleport. They don't use this pick to go in for a small fight. So they jump over into the Vayne into the background. The Vayne pops the flash, uses the summon as well to stay alive. The Nocturne gets taken out very quickly. We just have Kai'Sa, very difficult position, stuck between 3 people. Flawless execution gets the kill as well. And then Power, the Ignite comes in too. But he's down to this 100 HP. Jumps back and forth. Gets reset after reset. I think there's 3 Triumph procs that puts him back up to health.
Yeah. Got the Resurrection too with a GA. That's not going to be available. There's no stopwatch now for Kyle, but does have the cleanse. It looks like TGR, though, they opt to play for this Baron. They got themselves 2 Mound Drakes, so it does enough. They're going to jump on in. It's a little bit too late, though, from the side of GHS, and now they jump on in. Vanguard's Edge goes through 3 members. They get on top of Kyle. They're not able to finish off the kill, though. Looking for a taunt, and you see this. There's members falling. That's going to be a double kill. And Grandin, they lose 4. They're going to lose 5. TGR, they got the Baron, but they might lose the game.
Manages to kill the Akali at the very end there. Oh, we fall dead inside TGR. GHS. They have this moment to push in. 30-second death timers on the clock. Do they have enough time?
They got no minions is the issue. They can maybe try and get the inhibitor tower. They can
tank it up.
They're going to try and tank it.
They're looking to try and get a CC onto the Malphite.
Alita waiting for the ultimate cooldown. It's still coming back up. Kyle not able to finish off the kill. Now they turn back toward the inhibitor. Going to likely get the inhibitor tower and themselves an inhibitor to even out mid lane. And just like that, Tilly Tigers, sure, you get a Baron, but the power play, it goes in the other direction.
I kind of feel like that fight was waiting to happen. GHS are at the point where, you know, that's kind of expected. They are able to find this fight. But they have been able to come back. So TGR were kind of expecting that fight to happen eventually, but at least they get Baron. So GHS don't have Baron. On the bright side. On the bright side of things, you know?
We'll see here. TGR. They've got one Baron buff. It's on the Malphite. They got themselves 4 dragons. It's 26-20. But it's still a dead even game now through the mid lane. Both teams have super minions. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out on the side of GHS. Elder Dragon would be our next big objective, which I think is going to be joining in about 3 to 4 minutes.
Oh, but has it been 4 games? Has every game we've had today involved some kind of comeback?
It's getting, the numbers starting to climb. It's been a lot today.
It's like a bit of a blur at this point. It's like, was this game a comeback? Was this game?
I don't know, because at some point, each team has the advantage, except for one game that we had, and that was our very first one.
Yeah.
I believe. We'll see here.
So the advantage is like a hot stone. You don't want to hold on to it for
yeah.
too long. It's like,
you take the gold league. Oh, we'll take the gold league.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it. You have it.
All right. Elder Dragon in 1:30. TGR might opt for that. Gives them a bit more damage, a lot more, as far as the True Burn comes in.
It'd be nice, but I don't think True Burn impacts him as much because it is a lot of burst damage.
Oh, no. Kyle has a GA. Even if they kill this Vayne.
They know what? They know this will be top, so I'm quite surprised that they aren't just saying, let's go for this.
Tower goes down. Going to keep pushing in here. Inhibitor is going to be coming up shortly, I do believe, for GHS. Instead, TGR opt to go for a rotation. Bubble going to zone out the team, so they get split for half a sec.
Yeah, TGR haven't set up the wave proper in down bot side. Now as we start seeing the mid lane inhibitor respawn, that's going to be super minions crashing over to the mid wave as well. So they all left for bot side to take one shot at this turret. And now they need to walk back mid lane to clear out the mid wave. See, this is a bit of a problem with their macro mechanics.
They don't get a super minion. That inhibitor has respawned for GHS.
Exactly. They took one shot at the turret, and now they're going to have to go back to the mid lane to go and deal with this again.
See here, 2 members backing all their on top awards. GHS, they see this happening right now.
Oh.
Auto's going to follow.
That's a recall.
20 seconds on the Dragon. It's going to be Elder Drake. Ping's coming out. GHS practically fighting for their chance to actually go toe-to-toe with Liab tomorrow to tie up the group and force the tiebreaker.
Teleport from the Malphite coming in now.
Has the flash too. I think if GHS start this, it could be a bit of a disaster, but we'll have to see. Nocturne around the corner, down to 5,000 health. Flash on forward. There's the combo they were looking for as they get themselves 3 members on top of the Vayne, forcing her to have to dash away from the fight. Homie wants to try and at least come back here. It's down to 500 health. It goes on over. The Galio Q is able to secure it. And TGR, it might be enough. The bird is there. Kyle has nowhere to run. Has to go back to base. It's a Vayne in a 1v5.
Despite the odds, Kyle is still alive, and we've seen what might happen.
And this decides it.
This should be it.
GHS cannot win this game, Liab secure Group A slot into the National Minor.
There's no way Kyle 1v5s here, right? There's no way Kyle 1v5s.
Kyle has to. And if he decides not to, their hopes of moving on are done. Nexus towers are going to fall. The upset is here. Telly Tigers, they just jump in. They go ahead and take everything that is left of the base. Nexus will fall. And GHS, I don't think it's possible for them to move on.
No, I think that loss is too critical for them.
That's the nail in the coffin.
Our first game today, right, which was the important match of the day. They went into this match up against Tell Tigers, and they had to win. I think they've beat Tell Tigers before, so this was sort of a grudge match, sort of a repeat. But unable to follow through, they are now gonna find themselves in a situation where it looks like Liab is gonna be one to take first.
Well, that's cool to see our first team getting pretty much locked into the national minors for our next stage of our tournament here. Overall, though, Tell Tigers, like you mentioned during the draft, much simpler comp to execute.
Yeah.
It took them a while, though. They didn't get that clean-looking fight until the very end at Elder.
No, that's true. That's true. That last fight definitely was what they were looking for, though.
Yeah. They were able to pile on the Galio, rush in there with a Nocturne as well. And the thing was, Kyle that time just didn't have the ability to do much anyway.
No, yeah.
Had a GA, but if the Vayne goes down, then that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it one more time. Alita with the engage.
Yeah, just jumping in. This is great coming out. We do see the stopwatch from the Zoe trying to keep her alive a little bit longer. All right, so even the GA got popped here. They're just set above her, camping for her for a little bit longer.
Oh, they try everything to keep Kyle alive, and then that costs his draw too.
Yeah, where's the flash? Oh!
Oh!
Kaisa didn't flash, Kaisa didn't flash in to get the kill. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at this point,
yeah.
right? But still, would have liked to see that happen. Meanwhile, Comet comes in, they just find another kill. That was a long chase, but ultimately it does go in the favor of Tell Tigers. They went for the simpler composition. They went for a composition that was easy to execute, and they did just that. And they managed to take away the win against GHS here. Now GHS are in a sad spot.
A sad spot. They could have went in tomorrow looking to pretty much fight for that last slot to at least force the tiebreaker. You would have had to win 2 games back-to-back. But we'll have to see. Let's take a look at our post-game stats coming on through. And Kyle tried his best to carry there. For me, it was just that early game. Zoe had a little bit of an easier time. Maybe they could have tried to push an advantage here or there. Fortunately, it just wasn't the case. And nice damages coming across the board, too, for the side of Tell Tigers as a whole.
That's true. And Tell Tigers, despite the fact that Malphite had the most amount of damage, I actually didn't feel like the Malphite had very good synergy with the team. It felt like there was a little bit of miscommunication, or a little bit of a disconnect between what he and what the rest of the team wanted to achieve up to the very end.
He was very trigger happy with the ultimate. So, if the team was nowhere near, it didn't matter.
But he gets MVP.
Alita gets MVP. Granted, production has proved you wrong.
It's because his damage is high. No, I disagree with this. This game should have gone to Pao. Did you Pao kept him alive in that mid lane fight where he got a triple kill.
True. Was able to get their own win, but in the end,
all right.
It don't matter. They took home the victory.
MVP
is an afterthought for a lot of these players. They're here to take home the prize.
So Lita gets to have MVP this game. Congratulations to him. He did do a pretty decent job at Malphite when it came to closing out the game at the very end.
Yeah, for sure there. So that was our last MVP and last post-match breakdown for us, as I believe that is going to be the end of our show, at least for day 1 of week 2 for the Philippine National Qualifiers. But you guys can also tune in tomorrow. You guys can also check out the community stream happening tomorrow as well, where you guys will be able to watch every single match. But let's take a look at the groups. So for Group A, Liab, with that result, there is absolutely no way they can drop more than 2 games. They can only lose 1 tomorrow, so they will advance as far as Group A's representative into the National Minor.
Look at some of the other groups as well. We still have a few more games. We still have TNC versus MME in the other broadcast, in the community broadcast after this.
I believe that is actually done there.
Oh, is it done?
Yes, because remember, ISC and TNC will not, they're not going to end up playing their Law and ISC, apologies, because Law has played 5 games.
Oh.
So, we'll have to see there. Actually, they might still be in that match. We can check. We can take a look ourselves off broadcast. Their Group C, there is a tie here between Cross 5 and Steel Wolves. We'd have to double check who has the victory between that matchup from last week. There is still, I believe, 2 more games that will be played in Group C for every team. So there is a possibility for Hate Gaming to maybe make a comeback. I don't think it's possible, though. It's going to be mainly up to whoever wins between Cross 5 and Steel Wolves.
I'm pretty sure it's difficult to try and force a tiebreaker at this point. But
yeah. Group D, we have Imperium and JPV, which will be battling it out tomorrow as well. We got to take a look at that. So Hey Gaming is going to take on Cross 5 to begin things off. The big one, of course, is going to be Cross 5 versus Steel Wolves there. If they're able to secure themselves as a victory, they should be able to move on as far as our matches for our stream. And then tomorrow as well on our other feed, we're going to have the pretty important one, actually, if you're going to be checking out anything, is Imperium versus JPV, which, as you can see, it's going to be our very last match of the day as well.
To wrap things off.
You know,
JPV actually beat Imperium the last time around. That's Imperium's one loss. So that's a pretty critical grudge match for Imperium, especially considering they were regarded as one of the stronger teams coming in. I think they were invited as well.
Yeah.
So.
On top of that, too, if you guys... we do have any kind of ties. All our tiebreakers will be played after our scheduled matches, so we will be going into overtime here at the studio if that's the case. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in on today's show for the League of Legends Seed Tour. Of course, myself and Grandin and everyone in the broadcast. We thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. As they're able to trade back with a Ren in mid lane, there's two LeBlancs. They're going to go ahead and find the root. Needs to finish off the kill, though. Oh! Root walk gets back to safety, but it won't be enough. The Ignite's taking. Trying to get aggressive here. Nice knockup's going to come on through. Flawless execution gets that stun on back. Needs to just burst him down, though. Is able to find the first kill, but needs to take him down one last time. Goes in underneath the turret and is able to escape. Beautiful. MME, and they've been liking to play pretty aggressive here. Oh, that damage gets the shield and the heal. Kathy and Rain, and again, a super late ultimate coming in. Oh, just surviving with the Kaisa in the end. 182, let's try and take the Baron. Did MME just lose out on this game? Once again, we saw it happen last week. No, they turned it around because Kerprit now wants to join. Shutdown goes back on over to the Azir. Trades on back one. It's a triple stasis. Has nowhere to run, though. You got the Jada ultimate coming back on forward. They take down the Azir. Darks is able to do what he can. Needs to keep on kiting on back. Able to survive. It's a double kill over here towards the side. Kerprit now joining on in. They get the resurrection. They get the GA pops. Lee Sin needs to land this combo perfectly. Tries to get enough damage. Has that GA available as well. Kerprit flashing on forward. And MME somehow, by any way, should not have helped. Seeker lands. They get the hook there on to the Morgana. True Shot Barrage, though, comes on back. But they Kathy and Rain, and without the Black Shield, the depth charge can't connect. He's got to try and body block, though, and it's enough to do. Themselves, and now they're going to collapse right on top of him, brings them into the fish. Damage is there, and he just gets deleted off the map. Realm Warp going to come out. It's not even used because they're just going to chase him. There's still the opportunity for an Elder Drake to pop up. And with the Baron, they're going to try and crack open the base. What will it cost them, though? They're able to get the retaliate there as they take him down, but Cal can just run through this team. You saw how much damage that came out. Vanguard's edge not going to land, but the stun will connect. Triple kill. You can look to finish it off. It's a 50-50 now into the pit. Who's going to take it home? Slicing Maelstrom. They get stolen away, but at what cost here? As Tyson, the Slicing Maelstrom, is able to do enough damage, but unfortunately, the rest of the team is getting cleaned up. Imperium, though, strike back. This Aatrox is huge in the back line. Spear is still gigantic. Now, though, it's a 1v2, and Spear isn't that hyper carry Trundle. Imperium just throwing away the game, it seems. And just like that, Royal Zone, they get a spark of life back in as they take the 3,000 health. Imperium, they decide to back off. The flash on forward with the play is going to be able to find its targets. And now the knockup's coming on through Blake to Prison onto the backside. But the team of Imperium are split apart. Marquis can't get even close enough. Finally has the ability to take down the Jax. And now they can keep pushing on forward. Pillar's just going to keep them contained within this choke point. And they just look to keep on smashing them on down. Gets the bite on through. Woo! The damage, though, gets one. Flawless execution. Gets two. Able to get back into the cloak, but gets death sentence right down. Not able to get the knock-up, though. Here, are you serious? How the hell is Motivate holding on to the base? Is able to get a triple kill. One more auto attack will do it. Able to get to safety and keeps the team of Royal Zone still alive. Quadra kill for Motivate. What is... execution. Oh, he gets the knockup! Nearby, he's getting range, going to go all in. Here comes the knockup. They get the Vayne, and that's the main target. Can take it down here. Pau wants to join in as well. unfortunately, Hobie gets triggered by the Vanguard's edge, and they're just looking to jump in. Unfortunately, Aaron's got nowhere to run the Nightmares on top of him, and that's just going to be... All right, Paranoia is being used. They're going to go ahead, jump right on in, get toward their Alita, though not able to find the knock-up, and Kyle's able to kite back. Going to get taunted. There's the Kaisa now jumping